So, good evening. My name is Jorge Luis Naja Espinosa, and I will be presenting our Recycled Lab project, which was divided in the stages of R&D, which is research and development of the concept of buoyancy, different methods of buoyancy, the budget and investigation of materials, and the construction and testing phase. Uh, Here you can see how, my peers, Sergio Muñoz Hiromoto and Nicolás Romero Dada, for the class of Energy and Transformation 2. So, first question, how were the roles assigned? Well, basically, we self-assigned the roles, which meant we interchanged roles a lot in this project. I think I had mainly the role of main designer and archivist, which means I noted down the most of the things and designed the raft. Along with I helped build the raft alongside with Sergio and Nico. What specifications were there? Well, our teacher's specifications were only that the raft had to be mostly made of recyclable materials. That means either reused or reusable materials, and that it had to be in a 1 by 1 by 1 cubic meter. Relevant information. I think the only actual relevant information needed to explain the project was the fact that the time the teacher gave us was around, I believe, 3 weeks and a month maybe, and we had 1 week of a spring day in the middle, so we did have a lot of time, and we built it on the last day, the last hour. Next, I'm gonna present in the other screen videos of the construction or photographs and videos. As you can see here, this is the second design of the ride, first redesign, and the actual final design of the raft, alongside with a photo of the actual raft. So for the justification, we wrote a lot, but main resume is that the first design used a lot of materials, and we wanted to cut short waves with those materials. So we decided to use more of the most basic materials we had, and also some recyclable materials that we could use that were easy to get. And then we progressed away with construction till we ended up with just like a table, not even a table, a frame with bottles, a lot of them, big ones. So yes, it was basically an Occam's razor of sorts when we ended up doing the final design. First, we constructed, as you can see here, the mainframe. We built a third leg around the mainframe. Here's my peer Sergio cutting the mainframe. Here's him applying with a heat gun, straining up, you could say, the plastic, of the pool plastic we ended up using over the frame, so we insulate the inside, and we end up putting the empty bottles of soda inside between both walls of plastic. So it would be like how do you say, a grocery bag full of soda that floats. Here we are, me and Nico, putting the plastic bottles in there, and here is the test of that same plastic bottle. It's me who's testing it the first time. So as you can see, it was unstable. It didn't have a lot of consistency within the plastic bottles, who weren't actually holding on to anything but pressing against each other. And it filled up in pretty much like 2 seconds before I sat down. So it did hold me up. It just didn't hold me up long enough so it didn't drown itself. So next we actually built well, got rid of the plastic bottles and tried just using these the plastic and the cork we brought. uh, I think there's no photo of the cork here, but we had a photo of it in the second phase, and you can actually see it here used by my other peer Search. So just was 2 seconds before we found out that cork is not really that, consistent, being that it just breaks easily apart by kindergartens with not a lot of effort. So yeah, it was quick to just give up. Uh, then we had a well, I then we had a little design we didn't take a photo of. We had that had a two angular like infrastructure points inside of the frame were there, which were there to hold down the bottles, and it ended up working the same as the first try. It really didn't help much. Then we did this design along with helps of guys from the robotics or robotics competition uh, that were just there hanging around. I think it didn't work since we like just put it on water and it didn't float. So then Sergio, who was the main guy that was working on it and took the project to heart, took the whole frame and some materials back to his home and did some tests with, as you can see here, the raft with a plastic board inside it, and then the raft with the final design, the big bottles of water and soda in it, which ended up being this big thing. I don't know why it's ready. Okay, I don't know why it's gray, but yeah, I think it's in better quality here. So this actually, Occam's razor itself for 46 seconds, and it's still hot up after that. Just like 8 bottles of water, like 4 big gallons of water, four big, like 4 little bottles of water, 2 gallons of water on the back, and 2 liters on the front of soda over the empty bottles. And it just, yeah, it's basically an Occam's razor. It's the movie solution of a raft. And yeah, that's it. 80 minutes.